So, very complicated out there. There's a lot of people out there that have, have scientific backgrounds that are advocating this, and I think they're not looking at the whole picture. I think that if we exercise is very, very important part of a healthy lifestyle, but I also, I'm absolutely positive we're working a lot of different athletes in my own lifestyle where I'm well into my 80s and I'm still exercising, I'm still running and doing things that I think if I was doing what I was doing when I was a young guy, was first training, not only would I not be able to do this, I got a feeling I would not even be here. So the truth is self-evident, and with me, I'm not that crazy about double-blind studies and about a lot of this scientific jargon that's really, half of it is abstract, a mixture of philosophy. I mean, I have a strong belief in science. I think that's how we're going to grow. I think we're on the verge of a fantastic future, what we have because of the exponential technology we have available today, but I think we got to be very careful. There's a lot of information coming out where people are trying to market a product, or they have an agenda, or it's an abstract concept that might not even be reality. But what I have found out is the condition of a person's body. When a person is a clean biological organism, they don't get injured. They very rarely ever get injured unless what they're doing is incorrect. They have more endurance with less exercise, on less calories, and with less protein. The more inefficient you are as a biological organism, the more you're going to need to do the same thing. Now, I hope I'm making myself clear here. Maybe I want to make sure I'm making myself clear. And if you're in the process of becoming a clean, efficient biological organism and you're detoxing, you're not going to have this ability till you get through the process. So the idea is to get through the process. You have to have somebody that understands the process to help you get through it, and then you got to stay there and grow from that point on, and you'll be very athletic based on your own, your genetic, inherited athletic ability. I remember years ago when I was running a lot of races, and there was a guy that was pretty much of an unbeatable runner because he was just gifted genetically. He ate a terrible diet. He lived on, white sugar-coated donuts, and after a race he'd eat like 15 donuts, and he would run, after running a half a marathon, he would run 10 miles to go home. And I knew a guy that was into eating a good diet, he was eating a raw diet, he was just getting into it, and he thought because he ate this diet he was going to beat this guy. He didn't even come close to beating this guy because he wasn't looking at the whole situation. Now, make a long story short, this guy did burn up, he did run into a lot of problems. He had to get joint replacement surgery. He couldn't run no more, and he died at a relatively young age. So you have to look at the whole picture here. We just can't look at the short range type of a thing. A lot of people that are into exercise, they might be exercising for the wrong reason. They're exercising to look impressive, to have huge muscles, or to be ripped or cut. Meanwhile, they're not really they're not looking at the overall picture of being healthy. So I remember when I was young, when I was 16, I was 190 pounds, solid muscle, from working out very heavy, and my diet, it wasn't the same type of diet I'm on today, that's for sure. But I was always healthy. I was brought up in a poor immigrant family. We always ate simple foods. But so I think that has a lot to do with my overall health. But we have to become aware of the basic way to do this is to look at make sure you're looking at your long-range goals. Have the proper long-range goals. Make sure you're not just focusing on one immediate thing, like to have 20-inch arms and get yourself into real problems because you're using too much of a certain food to promote growth, or you're taking growth hormones because you look very, very impressive. In the long run, that don't work. I think it's very evident to most people that in the long run it don't work. It might look like, immediately you might look like the Fernese Hercules in a flash of, and you have a few moments of flash of, quote, quote, what you think is glory because you might get a few admiring looks. But in the long run, you might end up being the best built guy in the cemetery, so or the best built person in the cemetery. So we have to be very, very careful.